Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I'm last, so your day is done with Congress as soon as I'm through, I believe. I want to go through the basics again. This decision was not made by the President. It wasn't made by the Secretary of Homeland Security, and this decision was not made by you. Is that correct?
That's right. The decision was made by the career officials in ERO and in discussion with the CFO.
Okay, so the financial folks made this decision, basically.
And the operational people responsible for it.
And the people that have been released, you people are. Is that correct? The 2,000 plus, we know who these people are?
We, as in the agency,
you.
Yes.
Could you furnish the names and country of origin to the chairman?
Well,
Could you do that or not? Either yes or no.
Well, with the exception of personal identifying information that by law we are restricted from giving.
But that doesn't include their names.
We are happy to provide a summary of the cases, individual cases, and to the extent.
Let me reclaim my time. You can give the names and the country of origin. You can do that, correct?
Do we know who these individuals are? Yes.
Yes.
If the gentleman would yield.
Yes, I will.
I just inform the director the Privacy Act does not apply to the
I understand if the full committee or the chairman makes a request. I understand that.
So the answer to my question is yes. You can supply the names of the people and the country of origin to the chairman if he requests. It's a simple question. You can do that.
If the full committee were to request it, yes.
All right. And so the decision was made by the financial folks. Now, my question to you is this. Do you understand, do you see that the way this was handled could scare the American public? Have you got that message yet? Or do you think that occurred? I'll tell you, it occurred in my district. It couldn't have been handled worse by allowing all of a sudden the press to know 2,000 people that are being detained are being released by your agency, and you didn't know about it. So I think it couldn't have been handled worse. I'm not saying it was done on purpose to scare the people. I'm saying the result occurred that way, that it did have the effects of scaring the American public. I sent Secretary Napolitano a letter. She just, of course, didn't respond. I gave you a copy of the letter last week, or your staff. I'd like for you to respond to these questions. I'd like this letter filed for the record. Ask unanimous consent. Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent.
Without objection, they will be made a part of the record.
Thank you. We've heard a lot about people being released. And 40% don't come back for whatever reason. They don't show up for their deportation hearing. Many of those people, because of budget restraints, because there's not enough room in the inn, the determination is made, you are released until your deportation hearing, which may be a year from now or even longer, and 40% just don't show up. Now, I was a judge in Texas for 22 years. I tried only felony cases. If I had a 40% non-return of people who were released on bond or pretrial release, they would have had me in jail for that. So it seems to me we operate under a system where Border Patrol and ICE, I think, do a good job capturing folks. And then all of a sudden, they're released. And then they got to go capture 40% of them again because they don't show up for their deportation hearing. My question to you is this. Since this financial officer made this decision, and you didn't make the decision, Secretary of Homeland Security make this decision, can the financial officer just decide, do you think he has or she has the legal authority to release 30,000 of them? Do they have the legal authority? If they had legal authority to release 2,000, does the financial officer have the legal authority to release 20,000 or 30,000? You're a lawyer. Can you answer that question?
I can. First, just to be clear, it wasn't the chief financial officer. It was the operational leaders of ERO in consultation with the chief financial officer.
In this group of people who released the individuals that you did not know about, can they just release 20,000? Do they have the legal authority to do that?
The people who are mandatory detention must be detained.
All right, that's not most of these people, though, is it?
The 2,228 individuals, by definition, the instructions were they couldn't be subject to mandatory detention. About two-thirds of the people in our custody right now are subject to mandatory detention and would need to be detained. Your scenario where we would release 30,000 people is not possible because the law directs us to.
So they could release a third of them, though.
We could release those
In theory,
people that
you could release about a third of them,
we
which is
could
about
release
10,000.
those individuals that the law provides discretion for.
It's a simple yes or no. Do you believe that your agency has the legal authority without judicial intervention? Federal judge, immigration judge, without judicial intervention, do you have the legal authority to release that one-third, 10,000? Either you do or you don't.
We have the legal authority to release people not subject to mandatory detention.
And that's a scary thought. I yield back.
I thank the gentleman.